sorry, unfortunately I have not had enough time to write something specifically about Afghanistan, but I'm going to read this one that I've written that speaks to wars in Palestine and Lebanon, called Uranium-Enriched Outrage. Explosions by night from craven souls taking flight, as they lay to sleep from the sky's perversity seeps. Only the earth and sky weep as Palestinian tears are immune to the wicked routine. Disrupted dreams, bloodstreams, no milk from which to be weaned. Israeli hawks prey on innocent souls like scoundrels, deranged, betray the sacredness of life with A-grade class. From soaring, gutless launch pads, puppeteering deplorable military fads. Elsewhere, farcical army proclaimed disgrace, countless resignations. Failed experimental air power strategy. Sigh, but as it turns out, pigs really can fly, pelting phosphorus ammunition with vicious intention, uranium bombs, experimental weapons, shiny new. Rip crash and explosively blast through the glass doors a metre from her cradle. Preceded by a sudden, furiously hellish glow that fills the entire space behind the transparent panes. Bang! Heartbeats perturbed, nefariously usurped with reverberations of shock and revengeful rages waging retribution war on unfair warfare, and with hurricane and tornado force, the explosive remnants gush through any victims in their course with no remorse. Of course, in glass, flesh and bone form, glass tremors and quakes, glass windows, glass doors gutted, looted. Hinged limbs, heart muscles uprooted, hip bones, rib cages split asunder, roofs plummet mercilessly, hang by a thread. Hailstorms of glass follow, crashing, breaking, violently pounding on floors, walls, homes and carcasses hollowed. Phosphorus ammunition, uranium bombs, experimental weapons, cooking human flesh and skin to a burnt, ghastly crisp, well beyond overdone. Bubbles form under the skin, fill with fluid. Electromagnetic waves heat the fluid, raise the body temperature. Man boils in his own skin. Nerves paralyzed, nervous system shut down, internal hemorrhages, deterioration of skin, lungs, intestines, breathing attacked, airways massacred, suffocation. Man suffocates in his own skin. Skin turns blackish blue, body parts disassemble, wounds catch fire when exposed to air. Man boils, suffocates and agonizes in his own skin. Hear the sound of flesh ripping and skulls crushing. Watch the glass hailstorm from its epicenter. Smell the uranium-enriched, burnt human stench. Breathe the Israeli-induced phosphorus fumes. Feel the unrelenting outrage ingrained in their souls.
To hear from her. She's done more, I think, I can say confidently, she's done more for her people to highlight what's happening in her country than the so-called leaders of her country. I think her passionate and uncompromising stand in support of the rights of all Afghans, Pashtun, Tajar, Hazara, Uzbek, Imak, Turkmen, Baluch and others, make her a true fighter for justice and equality for all of multi-ethnic Afghanistan. Her vision for Afghanistan is where ordinary people are allowed to decide on their futures, their government, their education system, their economy, how their society works. But of course this is impossible while Afghanistan is occupied by more than 100,000 foreign troops, including a contingent of more than 1,500 Australians. The history of Afghanistan, which has never accepted foreign occupying forces, underscores this. Well, Malalai has told us in the last few days that she's surprised that Australians find it so hard to understand that Afghans don't want foreign troops in their country, even though they're also against war. Well, Malalai grew up with the Taliban in power. Her father fought against the Russian occupiers. For most of her adult life, she's known war and has fought fundamentalist and anti-woman forces. Malalai has a vision for her country, a vision that means that ordinary folk have the same opportunities and chances that we do here, to learn, to work, to live in safety, to experience life to the full. In a couple of days, we'll be marking the 10th anniversary of 9/11, those terror attacks on the US, and in a few more weeks, the 10th anniversary of the invasion of Afghanistan. We invited Malalai to tour Australia at this time because we wanted to counter the self-serving discourse from our so-called leaders that refuse to recognise the reality of the failed war on terror and the ongoing war of terror on the people of Afghanistan. We know that millions have been displaced and killed in the last 10 years in Afghanistan. We know thousands are attempting to come to Australia to find refuge, only to be locked up or turned away, or told to wait in line. But we only hear about the 29 Australian Defence Force personnel. The bipartisan consensus in our parliament that this war must continue is wrong. It does not reflect the majority views of Australians. But we know we have to become a lot more forceful and a lot more powerful to get our voice across. Malalai reminds us that Afghans are a peace-loving people. I'd say we could say the same about Australians. We're really thankful again that Malalai has been able to make it here, despite having had some illness during the trip. So I'd like to let you know now we're going to show a short film of her speech to Armidale. As I said before, she'll be very happy to answer questions. I'm going to just jump up on the stage and turn the lights off.